Of 6th grade primary school. Today we will start a new unit and a new lesson about solar and lunar eclipse, and inshallah we will make a comparison between the two eclipses which we will study this year, which are solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. Solar eclipse يعني كسوف الشمس, lunar eclipse يعني خسوف القمر. We will study everything and many interesting information about the two eclipses we will study this year. So let's start with the first phenomena, which is the solar eclipse. Solar eclipse, as we know, is a phenomena which happens when the moon comes between the sun and the earth, and all of them are nearly one straight line. But before we will study the solar eclipse, we will revise some information which we have studied in the last year and in primary 4 and primary 5. So let's start with many important information that will help us this lesson. We know that huge trees make shadow because they hide some sun rays. Huge trees, الأشجار الضخمة تعمل shadow لأنها بتحجب ضوء الشمس. Another information, sun emits heat and light every morning. Sun rays travel in a straight line, and all light travel in a straight line. All sunlight or all light rays travel in a straight line, as we have studied in primary 5. Also, Earth rotates around the sun in oval or elliptical orbit. Again, Earth rotates around the sun in oval or elliptical orbit. And also the moon rotates around the earth in a smaller oval orbit. Shadow is formed. Why? Shadow is formed when an opaque object blocks a part of the incoming light. امتى بيكون shadow؟ امتى بيكون ظل؟ لما يكون في opaque object جسم معتم blocks the part of the incoming light. بيحجب جزء من الضوء القادم. Earth rotates around the sun in oval orbit, as we have said before, or elliptical orbit. So, when does solar or lunar eclipse happen, and when does it occur? امتى بيحصل solar أو lunar eclipse? So, let's have an activity. When the moon comes between the earth and the sun on the same straight line, we will have a phenomenon which is called solar eclipse. لما المون يكون في المنتصف أو في النص ما بين الشمس والأرض، ولازم يكونوا كلهم على نفس straight line. All of them must be in the same straight line. We will have a phenomenon which is called solar eclipse. So let's do an activity or a easy experiment to understand that. Okay? نعمل activity مهم جدا مع بعض، نرسم مع بعض. Very interesting activity to know or to understand why this phenomena occurs or why this phenomenon happens. ليه بتحصل الظاهرة ديت؟ أو إزاي بيحصل eclipse أو إزاي بيحصل solar or lunar eclipse. We will study it now by doing this activity. Okay? Imagine that I have a sun here, okay, and the moon in the middle between the sun and the earth. Okay? This is the earth, and this is the moon. Here is the sun. We know that sun rays travel in a straight line like any light rays. So they will travel like that. Okay? They will travel in these straight lines like that. So I will have here 3 areas: area number 1, area number 2, area number 3. Area number 2 will be very dark, تكون مظلمة جدا. So it will be called امرا، هنسميها امرا. But what about area number 1 and area number 3? They will be called penumbra, and they will be not very dark. They will be faint shadow. يعني هيكون عندي 3 مناطق. أول منطقة will be very dark، عشان كده هنسميها امرا area. The 2 areas or the 2 other areas will be called penumbra, which are faint shadow. Okay, so when the moon comes between the sun, and the earth, it will block a part of sun rays coming to the sun. يبقى لما المون بيبقى في نص المسافة تقريبا أو between the sun and the earth, it will block، هيحجب some sun rays, so it will cause eclipse. Eclipse يعني كسوف الشمس، أو كأن الشمس اتكسفت أو اتغطت أو اتدارت من القمر. Okay, أو من الأرض. sorry. So again, what's meant by eclipse? Eclipse mean blocking some sun rays from the earth. يعني بحجب أو القمر بيحجب جزء من ضوء الشمس اللي واصل للأرض. So another activity to do at your home. ممكن أعمل activity مهمة جدا في البيت and easy at your home. We will see it now on the monitor. I will bring a torch like this. هنجيب كشاف زي الصورة قدامنا, and a mirror or a pole or a tennis ball or a plate, but must be circular, أي حاجة دائرية زي طبق أو كورة, and a wall or a screen. Okay? When the light or when the light rays come in a straight line like this, I will have three areas as I said. Umbra area, منطقة الأمبرا هي المنطقة اللي بتبقى very dark. Umbra area is a very dark area, and the penumbra area will be faint shadow. يبقى عندي three areas, ثلاث مناطق. One is called umbra and it's very dark, and the other are called penumbra and they are faint shadow or not very dark. So let's have a definition, or let's have the differences between the two types of areas which we will have. We will have three areas with two different types of shadow, which are umbra and penumbra. Umbra and penumbra. What's meant by umbra or umbral cone is like the cone. هي تقريبا شبهها فعلا شكل الكون. It will be, or it's called, the inner dark shadow area. هي المنطقة المظلمة الداخلية. Again, it's the inner dark shadow area. So it will be the umbra or umbra cone. Okay, so it's the inner dark shadow area. Another definition for the penumbra, it's the outer faint shadow area. It's the outer faint shadow areas. هما منطقتين مش منطقة واحدة. They are the outer faint shadow areas. So this is the phenomena of solar eclipse. امتى بيحصل solar eclipse? When the moon comes between the sun and the earth, and all of them must be on the same straight line. We will see it in the monitor now. شايفين قدامنا دلوقتي المون between sun and the earth, and all of them in the same straight line. So the moon makes, or the moon forms, two areas or two types of shadow, which are umbra here, umbra, and penumbra. So what happened in the umbra area of the moon? It will cause total solar eclipse. Why? Because we will not see anything of the sun. يبقى في منطقة الأمبرا لو في حد عايش في المكان ده أو تحديدا على النقطة دي في الأرض on the earth, he will not see anything of the sun. He will see the sun as a black disk. Why? Because the moon blocks all the sunlight. But what happened in the two other areas, in the penumbra here and the penumbra here? It will block a part of sunlight only. بيحجب جزء بس من ضوء الشمس, so it will cause partial solar eclipse. So let us see the type of eclipses, or the definition of solar eclipse at first. It's an astronomical phenomenon which occurs when the earth, the moon, and the sun are nearly on the same straight line, with the moon in the middle. Again, casting its shadow on the earth and hiding the sunlight from the earth. Again, it's an easy definition, but it's a long definition. هو تعريف يمكن يبان طويل شوية لكن هو سهل جدا. It's an astronomical phenomenon which occurs when the earth, the moon, the sun are nearly on the same straight line. يبقى أول شرط يكون فيه sun والearth والmoon on the same straight line. Second condition, الشرط الثاني, with the moon in the middle, والمون هو اللي في النص, casting its shadow on the earth and hiding the sunlight from the earth. بيلقي بظلاله أو يلقي بظله على الأرض ويحجب ضوء الشمس عن الأرض. So again, what's meant by solar eclipse? It's a very easy phenomena. It's an interesting phenomena which occurs with two conditions. بتحصل بشرطين. The first condition is that when the earth, the sun, the moon are all on a straight line, with the moon in the middle, casting its shadow on the earth. So what's meant by cone umbra here, or umbra? So we can say it's a dark inner shadow in which the total solar eclipse appears. Again, هي منطقة الأمبرا هي المنطقة المظلمة الداخلية اللي بيحصل فيها eclipse بنسميه total solar eclipse. So again, it's a dark inner shadow area in which the total solar eclipse appears. So what's meant by penumbra? It's a faint outer shadow in which the partial solar eclipse appears. It's a faint outer shadow in which the partial solar eclipse appears. So if the moon rotates on a higher orbit than the earth, because its orbit is oval, what will happen? اللي يحصل لو المون ارتفع شوية أو بقى في مدار أعلى أو بعد شوية عن الأرث وقرب أكتر to the sun أو للشمس. What will happen? Let me draw again the difference between the two positions or the two cases. We draw from a while رسمنا من شوية the eclipses which are total and partial. Here is the sun, and here is the moon, as we know, and here is the earth. Okay, and we know a light traveling in a straight line like that. Okay, so here I have how many areas? I have 3 areas with 2 different types of shadow, which are umbra and penumbra. Okay, umbra and penumbra. So if the moon comes in a higher orbit than the sun, than the earth, and nearer to the sun, not here, but it will become here, nearer to the sun, and the earth as its place. What happened? Light travel in a straight line, as we know. Okay, light travel in a straight line. Where is the umbra area? Here is the umbra area. And here is the penumbra. And also penumbra. But we will notice now a very interesting thing happened to the umbra. الأمبرا هنا انتهت تقريبا، خلصت. umbral cone has finished. And another area is formed. كون منطقة رابعة بقى أو نوع من الظل الجديد هنسميه antumbra. Okay, so this area is called antumbra. Another type of shadow which is called antumbra. In this area, what will happen? In this area, we will see the lighting ring only of the sun. هنشوف بس الجزء المضيء من الشمس لأن المون بيقرب أكتر to the sun. So we will see the lightning ring of the sun only, not all the sun. Okay, so if the moon comes in a higher orbit than the earth and nearer to the sun, it will cause another type of eclipse which is called annular solar eclipse, which is called again annular solar eclipse. And you will see this image on the monitor now. Look here, I have another shadow area في منطقة shadow تانية اتكونت أو منطقة رابعة اتكونت سميناها antumbra. This area is called antumbra. But here is the umbra and penumbra, the two areas of penumbra and umbra. Here is the antumbra. When the moon comes nearer to the sun, nearer to the sun than the earth, it will cause another eclipse which is called annular solar eclipse. So we will have now three types of solar eclipse which are total, partial and annular. هنا عندنا ثلاث أنواع من eclipse which are total, partial and annular. Where will happen or where total eclipse it happens in the area of umbra. And where will partial happens, it will occurs in the area of penumbra. And where the last eclipse which is called annular eclipse happens, it will form it or it will happen in the area of antumbra. So we can make a summarize for the three types of eclipses which we have studied today, which are total solar eclipse, okay, partial solar eclipse, and the last one is annular solar eclipse. Okay, where is total or where does total occurs? It occurs in the area of umbra. Where is partial occurs? It occurs in the area of penumbra. Where is annular occurs? It occurred in the area of antumbra. So we can make a secret word or we can make a note here to not forget any one of them. Look here, annular begin with the letter an and antumbra begin with the same letters an. يبقى ناخد بالنا كويس قوي. annular eclipse بيحصل في منطقة اسمها antumbra and both of them begin with the letter an. partial eclipse الeclipse اللي بنسميه partial بيحصل في penumbra والاثنين begin with the letters pn. And total eclipse occurs surely in the umbra because its name is total, so we will not see anything of the sun. So it's called total eclipse. عشان كده بنسميه total eclipse. So we'll have three type of eclipse as we have studied, which are total, partial, and the last one is called annular. So let's make a definition for each one of them. طب عشان أعمل definition لكل واحد منهم مطلوب مني أقول إيه؟ مطلوب مني أقول the shape of the sun شكل الشمس اللي بشوفه and the area in which it happened المنطقة اللي بيحصل فيها الإكليبس ده whatever it's umbra, penumbra, it's antumbra and so on. So let's start with the first definition of them, which is the total solar eclipse. Look here, it's a type of solar eclipse. It's a type of solar eclipse in which we can see the sun completely and it's formed in the shadow area or the umbra area of the moon. اتفقنا ان الأمبرا هي الشادو. Again, total eclipse or total solar eclipse is a type of solar eclipse in which we can see the sun completely and it's formed in the shadow area or the umbra area of the moon. So let's have a picture or an image for the total eclipse. Look here, it is the sun. So where is the sun? I can't see the sun in this picture. The sun is hidden or is blocked by the moon. Look, here is the black disk. It is the moon. So it covers nearly almost all the sun or almost all the sun. So we cannot see anything of the sun or the light is plugged. So it's called total solar eclipse. عشان كده بنسميه كسوف شمس كلي. Okay, so again it's a total solar eclipse in which we cannot see anything of the sun because the moon blocks nearly or almost all the sun. Another picture of the total solar eclipse. Here I cannot see anything of the sun, or I can see most the light of the sun. Okay, so what about the second type, which is called the partial solar eclipse? إيه هو partial? We can say it's a type of solar eclipse in which we can see a part of the sun, بنشوف جزء بس من الشمس, and it's formed in the penumbra area of the moon. Okay, ممكن نسميها penumbra أو نسميها semi shaded area. يبقى ليها اسمين، ممكن نسميها penumbra منطقة اللي هي شبه مظلمة، أو semi shaded area المنطقة برضو نفس المعنى شبه المظلمة. So again, the partial solar eclipse, it's a type of solar eclipse in which we can see, or we can see a part of the sun, بنشوف جزء بس من الشمس, and it's formed in what? It's formed in the semi-shaded area or the penumbra area of the moon. Look here, another picture for another type of solar eclipse, which is called total solar eclipse. Here is the sun, but a part of the sun is hidden. في جزء من الشمس مختفي. Why? Because the moon covers it. Here is the moon. هنا المون هو اللي بيغطي الجزء دوت من الشمس أو الجزء المختفي من الشمس. So it's called what? It's called partial solar eclipse. Why? Because the moon covers a part of the sun. عشان كده سميناها partial يعني كسوف شمس جزئي. So again, what's meant by partial solar eclipse? It's a type of solar eclipse in which we can see a part of the sun, and it happens or it occurs in the area of the penumbra or the semi-shade area of the moon. So another image for the partial solar eclipse. Here is the sun, and a part of the sun is hidden, is blocked. Why? Because the moon covers only this part. So what about the last type, which is called the annular solar eclipse? أنا شايف الديفينيشن فعلا طويلة شوية لكن ممكن جدا نفهمها مش نحفظها. It's a type of solar eclipse in which the sun appears as a lighting ring. الشمس بتبان هنا كأنها دايرة مضيئة بس. أنا شايف بس الحواف الخارجية أو الأطراف الخارجية of the sun, and is formed when the moon is in a higher orbit from the earth, so its cone shadow doesn't reach the earth. بيتكون الظاهرة ديت أو النوع ده من الإكليبس لما يكون المون في حالة higher orbit, مدار أعلى من الأرض أو بيقرب أكتر من الصن, so the cone shadow doesn't reach the earth, so it will be called the area of antumbra. ممكن أعمل definition تاني للأنولار. ممكن أقدر أقول it's a type of solar eclipse in which the sun appears as a lighting ring, and it occurs in the area of antumbra. And it occurs in the area of antumbra or the negative shadow. ممكن كمان نسميها negative shadow أو antumbra area of the moon. So I have a picture for this phenomena. ظاهرة annular solar eclipse. We can see only the lighting ring here because the moon comes nearer to the sun. It doesn't cover all the sun, but covers almost the central disk of sun and leaves the lighting ring, the outside lightning ring. هو بيسيب بس الحواف الخارجية المضيئة للشمس. So we can see the lightning ring of sun like this picture. So it's a very interesting phenomena which we can see only the lightning ring of the sun. The lightning ring of the sun because the moon doesn't cover all the sun like what happened in the total eclipse. But here is the annular solar eclipse which is called, اللي بنسميه كسوف شمس حلقي. عشان كده سميناه حلقي لأنه فعلا شبه الرينج أو شبه الحلقة. Okay, so here is a picture that illustrates all the type of solar eclipse which are total in the middle, total eclipse in the middle, and partial on the right and on the left, but with different degrees. هنا في عندي أكتر من حالة للpartial eclipse لكن بدرجات مختلفة. So we can summarize what we have studied now. ممكن نلخص كل اللي احنا درسناه. This phenomena happens when the moon comes between the sun and the earth, but all of them must be on the same straight line. And if the moon covers all the sun in the area of umbra, we cannot see anything. So it will be total solar eclipse. And if the moon covers only a part of the sun, it will be partial solar eclipse. So we can see a part only of the sun and the other part is blocked, is hidden by the moon. So what about the third type? النوع الثالث بنسميه annular solar eclipse. It happens only when the moon comes nearer to the sun and far away farther from the earth, and it occurs in the area of antumbra, so we can see only the lightning ring of the sun, not all the sun. So now we'll see a short video about this interesting phenomena, and this short video illustrate all the cases of the sun or the case of eclipse, and we will see this video now. Okay. So let's see a short video about the interesting phenomena which is called the solar eclipse. Look here. Here is the moon, comes nearer to the sun. That is the moon, and here is the sun. Okay. When the moon comes nearer to the sun and comes between the sun and the earth, it will block nearly all the light of the sun, so it will cause solar eclipse. Look here, what happened to the light? The light will decrease. Okay. What happened? The light will decrease because it causes solar eclipse. دي الظاهرة اللي بنسميها كسوف الشمس، معناها إن ضوء الشمس بدأ يقل فعلا. Okay. Look here. Here is another type of solar eclipse which is a partial. ده نوع بنسميه partial because the moon covers only a part of sun. That's total solar eclipse. Another type of eclipse. Okay. Look here. Here is the moon, the sun, and the earth. بنأكد تاني عشان تحصل الظاهرة ديت لازم يكون في شرطين. The first condition is that the moon comes between the sun and the earth. Second condition is that all of them كلهم يكونوا على نفس straight line, so that moon will form an area is called umbra, and another two areas which are called penumbra. Look here what happened. Okay, when the moon comes between the sun and the earth, it will form solar eclipse with different types. Look here what happened to the light. The light disappeared. Why? Because it's a solar eclipse. Okay, it's a partial solar eclipse where we can see a part of the sun only because the moon covers only a part of the sun. Because the moon covers only a part of the sun. Here is the mechanism of solar eclipse, or the drawing of solar eclipse. Look here, it forms partial eclipse of the sun. Here is the annular eclipse. Look here, I can see only the lightning. هنا أنا شايف بس تقريبا حلقة مضيئة بس من الشمس. Why? Because the moon covers only the central disk of the sun and leaves the lightning ring outside. Look here is the last type of eclipse, which is called annular eclipse, annular solar eclipse. Okay. Another type of eclipse which is called annular solar eclipse, where we can see the lightning ring of the sun. Okay. It's another image of annular eclipse where we can see the lightning ring of the sun. Look here, I can see a part of the sun, so it will be the partial solar eclipse. The partial solar eclipse. Here is the total eclipse in United States of America. Look here, the moon covers a part of the earth from the sun, so it will cause eclipse. Look here, that's total, but from a while it was partial. يبقى الإكليبس ممكن يتحول من لحظة لأخرى، يتحول من total لpartial أو في بعض الأحيان للannular eclipse. Look here, it's a partial and it will form total solar eclipse. Okay. Look here, when the moon comes between the sun and the earth, it will form, as I said again, solar eclipse, and the moon blocks the sunlight coming from the sun, from the earth, so it will cause total solar eclipse. It will cause total solar eclipse, and it will change to partial solar eclipse, and it will form another type, or that last type, which is the annular solar eclipse. So this short video illustrates what we have studied this episode about the three types of eclipse, which are total, partial, and the last type, which is called annular eclipse. So we have a caller from Cairo, Mariam from Cairo.
Hello.
Hello, Mariam.
Hello.
Hello, Mariam.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, Mariam. Mariam, you have a question you want to be asked?
I want to be asked.
Okay, Mariam. Did you study the eclipse?
Yes.
Okay, Mariam, can you give me a definition for solar eclipse?
It's the astronomical phenomenon which occurs when the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun are nearly on one straight line with the Moon in the middle.
Excellent, Mariam. It's a phenomenon. It's an interesting phenomenon, and also it's a astronomical phenomena at the same time, where it occurs when the moon comes between sun and the earth, and all of them on the same straight line. Okay, Mariam, can you give me the type of eclipses, type of solar eclipse?
Total solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse, and annular solar eclipse.
Okay, where do total occurs, Mariam? It occurs in what area?
It occurs in Emra.
Umbra, in the area of Umbra. So what about the partial eclipse? It occurs in what area, Mariam?
In Penumbra.
In Penumbra. So what about the last type, which is annular?
Annular
occurs?
Penumbra.
Occurs in not Penumbra? No, not Penumbra. In the antumbra.
Antumbra
or negative shadow. بنسميها antumbra or negative shadow. The last question for you, Mariam. Is this phenomena safe to see or to observe?
No.
No, why?
Because it causes
blindness. It causes blindness, and it causes cutting for the retina or affects the retina. Why? Because it produces some kind of rays. What are they? Ultraviolet radiations
and
infrared radiation. So they are very harmful radiation. So we must take care and not observing this phenomena directly by our eye, but we must use what, Mariam? Special glasses. Okay, Mariam. Thank you, Mariam, for your participation. And wait for us today. You will have another lesson, which is lunar eclipse. Okay? Thank you, Mariam. So we have studied today a very interesting phenomena, which is called solar eclipse, and also, inshallah, we will study another phenomena, which is called lunar eclipse. But before we will start this phenomena, we will have a revision for this phenomena of solar eclipse. Look here. I have a comparison between total and annular eclipse. Look here. In total eclipse, the shape of the sun disappears completely, and in annular, the sun appears as a lightning ring. Okay, so what about the position of the moon? In total eclipse, it is nearer to the earth, بيكون أقرب للأرض, but in annular, it will be farther from the earth in a higher orbit. Okay, total eclipse, the shadow area is called umbra, as Mariam said before, and in annular eclipse, it's called the antumbra, or the negative shadow. Okay, so the safety precautions in observation or observing solar eclipse. As I said, it's a very dangerous phenomenon. هي ظاهرة مهمة جدا وممتعة جدا، لكن في نفس الوقت خطيرة جدا جدا جدا. So we must take care, because outer solar corona keeps on emitting harmful rays to the eye, like the ultraviolet rays, UV, and infrared rays. Okay, so we must take care, and we must wear special glasses. We must use special glasses to protect us from harmful rays or UV and infrared rays that affect the retina of the eye. يبقى الظاهرة دي خطيرة جدا because it affect the eye retina، بتأثر على شبكية العين لأنها بترسل أشعة ضارة جدا زي ultraviolet or infrared. So we must use special glasses to observe this phenomena, like this image. Look here, we have a very interesting image. We can see the eclipse by its all types, or the three types: total, partial, and annular, but only with special glasses, like what we use in the 3D dimension films or 3D cinemas. We must use these glasses, not eyeglasses, not sunglasses, not any glasses, but special glasses for this phenomena only, because it's a very dangerous phenomenon. We must use these special glasses for observing the solar eclipse, because it's a very dangerous phenomena that emit or send to our eye ultraviolet radiation or infrared radiation that may cause blindness. ممكن يسبب لا قدر الله عمى if we don't use these special glasses. So these rays may cause blindness to the eye within few seconds. الموضوع مش سهل، موضوع خطير جدا, but we must take care if it happens. Okay, so detecting the times of solar eclipse occurrence by calculating the rotation of the moon and the earth in their orbits around the sun, we can say that the time required for occurring this phenomena is 21 years and 5 months. So now we have a caller from El Fayoum, our dear friend Bassam. How are you, Bassam?
I am fine.
Okay, Bassam. How is science with you now? Bassam, how is science with you?
It's good.
It's good, okay. Okay, Bassam, you have a question or you want to be asked?
No, I want to be asked.
You want to be asked, Bassam? Okay, Bassam. Did you study the solar eclipse, Bassam?
Yes.
Okay, can you give me a definition for the solar eclipse?
Solar eclipse is astronomical phenomenon which occurs when the Earth the moon and the sun is nearly on the straight line with the moon is in the middle.
With the moon in the middle. So Bassam, is this phenomena safe to observe?
What?
Is this phenomena safe to observe? هي ظاهرة أمان إن احنا نشوفها يعني ممكن نبص عليها بسهولة؟
No.
No, why Bassam?
Because it has harmful rays.
Because it produces harmful radiation such as ultraviolet and infrared. So Bassam, can you give me a definition for the umbra area or the umbral cone?
It is a dark inner shadow area in which the total solar eclipse appears.
Okay, it's a dark inner shadow area in which the total solar eclipse appears. So what about the penumbra area, Bassam? The penumbra.
The find all the shadow area in which the partial solar eclipse appears.
Again, Bassam, please. Again.
The find all the
No, faint.
area.
It's a faint, Bassam. It's a faint shadow area. It's a faint. هو ظل بهتان شوية مش غامق قوي يعني. It's a faint shadow area.
It's a faint outer shadow area in which the partial solar eclipse appears.
It's a faint outer shadow area in which the partial solar eclipse appears. Okay, Bassam, the last question for you. When does the annular solar eclipse occur? When does the annular solar eclipse occur?
Annular?
Annular? امتى بيحصل يا بسام؟ هو ليه كده شرط إضافي
When the
كده.
moon in the penumbra.
No بسام, not penumbra. And not umbra كمان. When does the annular eclipse appears?
Penumbra.
Yeah, when the moon comes in a higher orbit than the Earth and nearer to the sun, it formed another area or another shadow area which is called antumbra. When the moon or when the Earth lies in the antumbra of the moon, it will cause the annular eclipse. Okay, Bassam? You have a question, Bassam, now?
No.
Okay, Bassam, thank you very much for your participation. And wait for us today. We will explain another lesson which is called lunar eclipse. Okay, Bassam? Thank you. So now let's return back to the last information about the solar eclipse, which is that this phenomena or this interesting phenomena doesn't long or doesn't stay for more than 7 minutes and 40 seconds. هي بتستمر فقط مش أكتر من 7 دقائق و40 ثانية. So it's a very interesting phenomena and it's a very rare phenomena. هي ظاهرة نادرة جدا. It occurs only every 21 years and 5 months. So let's start the second lesson in this unit, which is the lunar eclipse. But all or the both of the two lessons, solar and lunar, are related to each other with very degree, with a very important degree. هم مرتبطين جدا ببعض بدرجة عالية جدا. So what's meant by lunar eclipse? But before we study this phenomena, we must have the definition for this phenomenon. It's an astronomical phenomenon which occurs when the sun, Earth, and the moon are nearly on the same straight line, but with what? With the Earth in the middle between the sun and the moon. هنا نفس الظاهرة تقريبا، لكن الاختلاف الوحيد هو إن الأرث هي اللي in the middle in the between the sun and the moon. Look here, with the Earth in the middle in the hiding sunlight from the moon. So it's a very important definition. What's meant by lunar eclipse أو خسوف القمر زي ما هنسميه? It's the astronomical phenomenon which occurs when the sun, Earth and the moon are nearly on the same straight line. نفس الشرط اللي فات بالظبط. لكن ايه هو الزيادة أو ايه ال difference between the lunar and solar? With the Earth in the middle, with the Earth in the middle hiding the sunlight from the moon. هي الأرث هي اللي بتخبي ضوء الشمس المرة دي عن القمر، كأن الأرض كده بتاخد بطارها من القمر أو take revenge، إن القمر زي ما خبى ضوء الشمس عنها وعمل solar eclipse، هي هتخبي ضوء الشمس عنه وهتعمل lunar eclipse أو خسوف القمر. So lunar eclipse phenomena again occurs in the middle of lunar months، بتحصل في منتصف الشهر القمري. When the moon is in the phase or in the full moon phase، يعني بيكون القمر بنسميه بدر، قمر مكتمل. When the earth hides all the sunlight or a part of it from the moon on the rate of 2 lunar eclipses period، يعني بيحصل بمعدل مرتين في السنة. So again lunar eclipse phenomenon, it occurs in the middle of lunar months when the moon phase is full moon, when the earth hides all the sunlight or a part of it from the moon on the rate of 2 lunar eclipse per year. Okay, so nota bene, very important nota bene, is that lunar eclipse can be seen easily because it lasts for an hour or two. بيستمر معانا ساعة أو ساعتين، فممكن نشوفه بمنتهى السهولة جدا. And it's also not dangerous phenomenon. هو ظاهرة مش خطيرة because it doesn't produce any of harmful rays such as ultraviolet or infrared. So again, lunar eclipse can be seen easily because it lasts بيستمر for an hour or two. The surface of the moon gets red, then it returns to its original natural color. Again, the surface of the moon gets red, then it returns to its original color or to its original natural color. يعني المون هنا شكله بيتحول للون الأحمر وبعد كده بيرجع لموضوع طبيعي من تاني. So, lunar eclipse occurred 3 times in the year of 1982. حصل 3 مرات فقط في سنة 82 لكن هو already بيحصل 2 times in any year. So, lunar eclipse doesn't require precautions. ما بيحتاجش أي تحذيرات. Warnings or special devices to be observed. Why? Because lunar eclipse doesn't harm the eye. هو ما بيأذيش العين خالص عشان كده ما بيحتاجش أي precautions أو warnings or special devices. So, lunar eclipse drawing is the يحصل lunar eclipse. Look here. Here is the sun on the left, the earth in the middle, and the moon on the right. What is the middle object or what is the middle celestial body? مين هو الجسم الفضائي اللي في المنتصف أو في الميدل؟ هو الأرث. Why? Earth here blocks the sun light from reaching the moon, so it will cause lunar eclipse. يبقى عشان أفهم الفرق بين الاثنين. Solar eclipse means moon between sun and the earth, but solar eclipse means or lunar eclipse means earth between the moon and the sun. So here, if the earth comes between the sun and the moon, it will cause lunar eclipse. Okay? So what are the type of lunar eclipses? We have 3 type of lunar eclipse, which are total lunar eclipse, كسوف شمس كلي أو كسوف قمري آسف كلي. Number 2, partial lunar eclipse. Number 3, semi-shaded lunar eclipse. Okay? Let's study each one of them. Look here. Here is the sun, the earth, the moon, and the earth in the middle. If the moon lies in the area of the umbra of the moon, all the moon, لو القمر كله وقع في منطقة الأمبرا area of the earth, it will cause total lunar eclipse where we can see the moon with red light. بنشوف القمر بضوء أحمر أو ظل أحمر بهتان شوية. And we will know the reason of this red color. إن شاء الله هنعرف بعد شوية ليه هو أو إيه سبب الred color ده. And if a part of the moon لو في جزء بس من القمر in the area of the umbra and another part والجزء الآخر in the area of penumbra, it will cause partial lunar eclipse. هيسبب كسوف بنسميه partial lunar eclipse. And if all the moon in the area of penumbra like this, if all the moon in the area of penumbra, it will cause the last type, which is the semi-shaded lunar eclipse. But here we don't have annular lunar eclipse. مفيش كسوف قمر حلقي، لكن في كسوف قمر total or partial we semi-shaded. So let's start drawing this interesting phenomenon. نرسم مع بعض الظاهرة ديت. Look here I have the sun. طبعا the sun مش ممكن تكون هي in the middle أبدا. Here is the earth in the middle and I don't draw the moon up till now. مش هرسم القمر لغاية دلوقتي عشان أعرف إزاي يحصل eclipse. Look here, sun rays travel in a straight line like this and travel a straight line like this. What are the areas I have now? I have the area of umbra and the area of penumbra. Okay, the area of umbra and the area of penumbra. So we know that the moon rotates around the earth in oval or elliptical or semicircular orbit. القمر بيدور حوالين الشمس مدار شبه دائري أو شبه بيضاوي. So if all the moon comes here, لو المون كله وقع هنا في منطقة الأمبرا, it will cause total solar eclipse. So let me write number 1 here. In number 1, I have total lunar eclipse if all the moon lies in the area of the umbra. But what happens if a part of the moon, لو في جزء بس من المون في الأمبرا وجزء في البينأمبرا like this, okay, I will have semi-shaded or I will have partial lunar eclipse. I will have partial lunar eclipse. Okay, but what happens if all the moon لو القمر كله, طبعا دي هتبقى number 2, لو القمر كله دخل في منطقة البينأمبرا like this أو حتى البينأمبرا here, it will cause the last type of lunar eclipse which is called semi-shaded. ده بنسميه semi-shaded lunar eclipse, which happens in the area of penumbra. So if all the moon, لو المون كله في منطقة الأمبرا هنسميه total lunar eclipse. If a part of the moon in the umbra and another part in the penumbra, it will cause partial lunar eclipse. If all the moon in the area of penumbra, it will cause semi-shaded lunar eclipse, where we can see the moon without eclipse already or without eclipse in fact لكن بيكون ظله بهتان او ضوءه بهتان شويه، فعشان كده بنسميه semi shaded lunar eclipse. So now let's have a definition for each one of them. And I said before قلت اكتر مره مش بنحب الطالب اللي بيحفظ definition لكن بنحب الطالب اللي بيفهم definition ويقوله can make its own definition، يقدر يعمل definition بدماغه هو الشخصيه. So but before we have a definition for each one of them we have بسام from الفيوم again. Hello بسام.
Hello.
Hello Bassam.
I am fine.
Okay. You have a question Bassam now?
No, I want to tell you about my mark in the midterm exam.
Okay Bassam, what's your mark?
I get full mark.
Full mark 100%?
Yes.
Okay Bassam, very very important congratulations for you Bassam. I congratulate you and all the teamwork here in the studio congratulate you on air Bassam. Thank you Bassam, thank you very much. Okay.
I want to ask in the Lunar lesson of Lunar.
What Bassam?
I want to ask.
You want to ask? Okay. You want to be asked? You want to ask Bassam?
I want to be asked.
You want to be asked. Okay Bassam. What's meant by lunar eclipse?
Lunar eclipse?
Yeah.
The astronomical phenomenon which occurs when sun, earth and the moon
Yeah.
are nearly in one straight with the
One straight
earth,
line
the
with the
middle
earth.
heading, in the middle heading the sun from the moon.
Hiding the sun from the moon. So Bassam, what are the type of lunar eclipse? What are the types?
Total lunar eclipse,
Partial?
partial, semi-shaded.
Semi-shaded. Okay Bassam, thank you very much. And wait for us today to explain all the three type of lunar eclipse. Thank you very much Bassam. So now we will have a definition for each one of them, and I said before we like the creative people like Bassam. هنحب أو الطالب المبدع زي بسام كده مش بيحفظ definition لكن بيفهمه and can make the definition from his own mind. ممكن يعمل definition من تفكيره هو الشخصي أو فهمه هو للموضوع. So what's meant by total lunar eclipse? It's a very interesting phenomena which occurred in the area of what? When the moon lies in the area of umbra of the earth. So I have a definition here for this phenomena. Total lunar eclipse is a part of lunar eclipse which occurs when the whole moon لما القمر كله when the whole moon enters the shadow area or the umbra area of the earth. So again, what's about total lunar eclipse? It's a type of lunar eclipse which occurs when the whole moon enters the shadow area or the umbra area of the earth. So here I have an image for this phenomena. Look here, the moon lies in the area of umbra of the earth, so I can see the moon eclipsed. هنشوف القمر هنا كأنه ضوءه خافت شوية أو ضوء ضعيف شوية, but with red color, and you will know the reason for this red color. So look here, the moon appears with red color and with eclipsed light, يعني ضوءه كده خافت شوية أو مش قوي أوي زي ما متعودين عليه, with red color because the moon lies in the area of the umbra of the earth. So what about the partial lunar eclipse? It's a type of lunar eclipse also, but which occurs when the part of the moon enter the shadow area of the umbra of the earth or the other part enter the penumbra. يعني جزء في المون في الأمبرا وجزء في البينأمبرا, يعني تقريبا المون مقسوم جزئين, عشان كده بنسميه partial lunar eclipse أو كسوف أو خسوف قمر كسوف قمر جزئي مش كلي. So again, what about the partial lunar eclipse? It's the lunar eclipse which occurs when the part of the moon enter the shadow area or the umbra area of the moon. Look here, that's the reason for occurring this partial eclipse of the moon. Here is a part of the moon in the area of umbra and another part in the area of penumbra. يبقى في جزء من المون بيخش في منطقة الأمبرا, المنطقة المظلمة تماما, و another part in the area of penumbra. So that's the image of the partial lunar eclipse. Look here, I can see a part only of the moon. Why? Because the dark part, الجزء اللي مش موجود هنا هو اللي في الأمبرا منطقة الظل, عشان كده أنا مش شايفه خالص, لكن الجزء اللي أنا شايفه هو اللي في منطقة البين أمبرا اللي أنا شايفه بسهولة جدا. So what about the last type which is called semi-shaded or penumbral lunar eclipse? ممكن نسميه semi-shaded أو penumbral lunar eclipse. It occurs when the whole moon, لما المون كله يخش منطقة أو يدخل منطقة penumbra. So we can say it's the lunar eclipse which occurs when the moon enter the semi-shaded area only, اللي هي بنسميها penumbra, in which the moonlight turns to be faint without being eclipsed. هو خسوف قمر او كسوف قمر لكن مش كسوف حقيقي. هو اللي بيحصل للقمر انه اللايت بتاعه بيبقى eclipsed, بيقل شويه, عشان كده بنسميه semi shaded او penumbral lunar eclipse او كسوف قمر اللي ما بيحصلش فيه كسوف كامل يعني، لكن بيحصل فيه يعني بيقل ضوءه شويه. Okay, so again it's a semi-shaded penumbral lunar eclipse. It's a lunar eclipse which occurred when the moon enters the semi-shaded area only, or penumbra area in which the moon light turns to be faint without being eclipsed. So that's the image of partial or penumbral lunar eclipse where all the moon كل القمر دخل في منطقة بنسميها penumbra، عشان كده هنسميه penumbral lunar eclipse أو semi-shaded lunar eclipse. And this is the image of the moon in this case. That's the image of the moon in the semi-shaded or the penumbral lunar eclipse. Look here, there is no annular lunar eclipse because the Earth has a great size relative to that of the moon, so it always blocks all sunlight when it comes between the sun and the moon. يبقى ما عندناش نوع اسمه annular lunar eclipse، لكن في annular solar eclipse. Okay, so we can make differences and similarities between solar and lunar eclipse quickly because we have no time. Solar eclipse are caused by blocking the sunlight and casting the middle body اللي هو المون في الحالة ديت shadow on the outer celestial body. يعني بيحصل لما المون هو اللي بيحجب ضوء الشمس عن الأرض. So what about lunar? Caused by blocking of sunlight and casting the middle body Earth shadow on the outer celestial body moon. Okay, so another difference or another similarities between solar and lunar. The types occur or repeated in regular periods of time and can be predicted. أنواع السولار ممكن أتنبئ بيها. برضه نفس الموضوع في اللونر. Their types occurs or repeated in regular periods of time and can be predicted. Solar eclipse, the shadow is classified into umbra and penumbra, but in lunar they are the same, umbra and penumbra. But in solar I have another area which is called antumbra. So differences between solar and lunar is that solar occurs when the moon comes between the sun and the earth, but lunar occurs when the earth comes between the sun and the moon. So a give reason, very important give reason question. It says that no precautions or special devices are required during observing the lunar eclipse. ليه ما بستخدمش أي تحذيرات أو احتياطات أو special glasses أثناء ملاحظة lunar eclipse أو خسوف القمر. So that because lunar eclipse doesn't cause any harm for the eye. يعني ما بيسببش أي كسوف أو أي ضرر للعين. So again because lunar eclipse doesn't cause any harm for the eye. Another question. In the beginning of lunar eclipse the moon appears in red color. ده السؤال اللي قلته من شوية. ليه بيظهر لونه أحمر؟ Because some rays are not absorbed by the Earth's atmosphere, so these rays or these red rays are refracted reaching the moon to appear with red color. ليه بيبان باللون الأحمر اللي احنا شايفينه دلوقتي على الشاشة قدامنا؟ Because some rays or some red rays, some infrared rays are not absorbed by the Earth's atmosphere, but these rays are refracted. يعني في بعض الأشعة ما بتمتصش داخل الغلاف الجوي لكن بتنكسر وتوصل للقمر، فالقمر بيبان بالشكل الأحمر اللي شفناه دلوقتي. So this is very important give reason question because some red rays are not absorbed by the Earth's atmosphere, so these rays are refracted reaching the moon to appear with red color. Okay, look here. Okay, so I'm afraid now we have reached our end of this episode, and I revise with you today. We have studied the two interesting phenomena which are solar eclipse and lunar eclipse, and inshallah we will study another lesson about observing the space in the next episode, and also we will have a revision for unit 3 because it's very important unit about many interesting phenomena such as solar and lunar eclipse, and also observing the space and the telescopes and also the planets, the galaxies and everything in space. And now I can say to you goodbye and see you soon, and wait for us for the next episode for observing the space.